where if the time that you're spending putting into something that you want to learn and become really good at it, if the time is quality time, an hour can be worth 4 or 5 hours of just kind of mediocre time. Andrew Joseph Keith here. Today I want to talk about quality practice time. And I think we've all heard the whole 10,000 hours. Like if you spend 10,000 hours doing something, you'll be really good. When I was thinking about that though, I was thinking about how I really like table tennis, and at the university I teach it and stuff, and I'm over the club, and the people that I practice with there, they usually kind of get up to my level, but then we're kind of at the same level. And I feel like I don't really improve that much once I'm at that point. So if I was to spend 100 hours playing the people here at the university versus 100 hours playing the professional, the best in the world, I would get so much better with 100 hours practicing with the best. And so even though it's the same amount of time, there's no comparison. Like one, I would hopefully get a little bit better, but 100 hours spent with the world's best I would improve so much. And I think that this can kind of relate to almost anything, where if the time that you're spending putting into something that you want to learn and become really good at it, if the time is quality time and it's really condensed and intense and really focused, then an hour can be worth 4 or 5 hours of just kind of mediocre time. So I think with 2,000 to 500 hours, you could become really proficient at something if the time was a little bit higher quality, and that way you wouldn't need as much quantity. And so I'm just going to go through some ideas that I have about how I can improve my own study time, and hopefully some things that you can use as you try to be proficient at whatever it is you're doing. So the first is focus, really having a focused study. I think it's really easy to be distracted by all sorts of things, but if we can set aside a time where we're very focused on whatever it is that we're doing, and we're putting a lot of mental energy into that and really trying to learn, really studying out what it is we're doing wrong and thinking about how to change in things, I think that is one of the first things that we can do to make each minute that we spend practicing a little bit more valuable. Another thing that's super helpful for me, and I really like to do this, I love teaching. I like to teach whatever. I just really like to teach whatever it is I'm learning and discuss things that I'm learning with other people. I think that's something that's really important when our mind is trying to understand new ways to do things. If we can talk about it with somebody, if we can teach somebody, or just kind of have discussion or show people like, hey, this is what I'm working on, what do you think? That is something that can really help add value to whatever it is that you're doing, add value to the time that you're putting in as well. Another thing that I do, maybe a little bit too much, is before I go to bed, I find it a good time just to think about the things during the day that I've been working on, whether it's a project, whether it's videos that I'd like to do in the future, whatever it is. I try to spend a little bit of time just thinking about either what I did or what I plan on doing, and that way as you sleep, we know that some of those same triggers and things that happen throughout the day are going to continue at night. And so when you sleep, your mind's actually still working on things, working on understanding things, the world around you, working on remembering things and solidifying things into your memory. And so if you just spend some time before bed, not too much time, hopefully, but just kind of thinking about and pondering what you can change, what you can do better, what you'd like to do, or what you've learned that day. And I think that will also add value and help you remember and retain in your memory the things that you've gotten out of the day. And so like I was saying, the 100 hours, if I was with the professionals, I would get so much better. And so that's why I really like YouTube videos. There's so much good content. There's amazing artists out there. There's sculptors that are just incredible. And if you can just spend your time just kind of absorbing the kind of art that you really appreciate and watching time-lapse videos or whatever it is, and just kind of feeding yourself with that, I think as you study that, it will show in your own artwork. You'll be able to use those concepts that you enjoy and do them in your own style, and that will also be beneficial. Another thing I really believe in is just pushing yourself to be better. A lot of people, there's like the attitude that like we're okay. It's like, it's okay. I'm okay as I am. Like I don't really want to change. But I really think change should be a good thing, as long as it's change for the better, obviously, but you should be willing to change and try new things and experiment with new concepts and new techniques, and that will really help you evolve as an artist. If you're willing to change, if you're willing to be self-critical and think, what am I doing that I need to improve on, can help you find the areas where you're maybe a little bit off that you can't see just by looking at it. And so finding those things that you can realize what you're doing wrong and modify those things is really important. So that's pretty much what I have today. So go ahead, go do something, be active. Feel free to subscribe. Go do some artwork. Do something awesome. Be awesome. We'll see you around.